Alright, so in today's video it's going to be a little bit different and I think you'll like it. Today I'm going to be showing you how I do my thumbnails in GIMP and really just going over a few different basics of GIMP. If you've never used GIMP, it is a fantastic alternative to Photoshop, and it being free makes it a lot better than Photoshop in my opinion. But we'll be going over how to cut stuff out of GIMP, how to add text, do gradients, all that stuff. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump in it. First things first, you'll want to go up here and click open, and first thing we want to do is grab the image that we want to cut out and put into GIMP. And you can have multiple images open inside of GIMP. When that thing pops up, convert or keep, doesn't really matter whichever one you pick. I normally just click convert. And what we're going to do is use the lasso tool up here. And so if you're completely new to GIMP, which this is a beginner's video, so I assume you are, if you just right click on these options, you'll get different ones. Like down here for this scale, you might have it as just unified transform. Just right click, you have your rotate, scale, flip, all those different options are there. The bucket tool, you'll be using the gradient tool. So, you know, there are a few of these that, like the lasso tool, I never use scissors or anything like that. I just use the free select or lasso. You know, you can call it a whole bunch of different things, but if you press control and then zoom in, that's how you can, or use your scroll wheel, that's how you can zoom in. And so we're going to zoom in here, and we're just going to start tracing this image right at where the black meets my body. And we're just going to keep going and keep doing this until we're done. Alright, now that we've traced it around, we just want to go down here to the bottom and connect up everything. And again, with this, the longer that you've been doing it, the more that you do it, the more that you'll get used to it, and the faster that it'll go. I didn't even think about it, but when we started off, I wasn't actually cutting out or going with the black line, because I forgot there was an actual black line around the entire outline of my body, but that's all right. What aren't a few mistakes? So after you connect it up, don't forget to press enter. As soon as you press enter, it'll actually select it, and what you want to do is press Control C to copy it and Control V to paste it. And then over here, you'll get this floating selection. You just want to right click on that and click to a new layer, and then boop, it'll pop in. And if you make the other layer invisible, you can scroll out, and voila, we've cut our picture out of, or we've cut the background out of our image. And so all we need to do now is just go ahead and export this as, we'll name it the same thing, my name cartoon, but you need to make sure, instead of saving as a .jpg, save it as a PNG, because that will keep the transparency. Okay, and now that you've done that, we can close out of this and open up. We will open up, I have got a gradient somewhere in here. purple gradient. Open that up. All right, so we've got us a good gradient image here to work with. And we're gonna go ahead and pull in our PNG, open, bada bing, and we'll click the move tool and we will move it right here. So the shoulder where it's clipping off and over here where it's clipped off is down below, and it looks like I'm just popping out. And we will apply a nice little outline to this. And so to apply an outline, all you need to do is go down to the layer that you want to apply the outline to, right click on it, and then click Alpha to Selection, and then it'll select the entire thing. And you want to go up here to Select, and then Grow, and we'll grow this by 5 pixels. So it comes out just a little bit. Actually, just make it a little bit more pronounced. I'll grow it by 10 pixels, so an extra 5. And then what you want to do is go down here to these little buttons, and if you hover over them, they'll tell you what they are. And this far left one here is just create a new layer. So we'll create a default new layer, and then all we need to do is go over here to the paint bucket tool, and we'll switch this over to white, or actually, because the already outline that it has is black, we'll do black. And so when you put that in there, you have to make sure you've done the select, grow, and new layer. Doesn't matter which order you do it in, other than you probably do need to at least select your layer and then create a new or select Alpha to Selection on your image, and then you can create a new layer and grow the selection, or grow the selection, create a new layer, either one. But you need to make sure that you create that new layer, or else when you try and paste that black in there, it's just going to go into spots on your images. So make sure you create that new layer, and then all you want to do is drop it down. So there's these down and up arrows, so just click one of those, make it go down, and then we'll select none, and there you go. So you can see it didn't turn out too good, mainly because I cannot cut to save my life. So we have some blue in between there. But, you know, again, if you're trying to save time, you might end up with an image like this. But one of the really cool ways that we can go about fixing this is just grab our paintbrush, and if I can stop that, crank the size down and then zoom in, and paintbrush, and I'm painting on the complete wrong layer. There we go. Let's paint that in. Do this little touch up here. And yes, to us, it doesn't look perfect, but zoomed out, it shouldn't look too bad. I didn't shrink this enough, so this might not work as well as I'm expecting it to, but it should work nonetheless. And bing, boom. Oh my gosh, if I could stop accidentally hitting the Windows button. There we go. See, looks much better. Much better. Doesn't look perfect, but much, much better. And then we can go ahead and add some text. So, go ahead. We'll add how to create beautiful thumbnails. And we'll just make this real big so it's got plenty of room, and we'll make sure that it gets centered up correctly. I want it centered from my head over here. now if we bump this up, and make it 285, and drag this down just a bit. There we go. And we'll make this text white, even though it won't matter, because what we're going to do is apply a gradient to it. So we'll go ahead and alpha to select the text, because it's got its own layer over here. Every time you add text, it'll go to a new layer. And we're going to select, grow, or actually, since I did this first last time, I'm going to go ahead and create a new layer and show you that you can do it in a different order. So I've created my new layer, select, grow, and we'll grow by 5 pixels, and then grow again by another 5 pixels because I'm too lazy to just type in 10. And we've already added our new layer, paint bucket, and wait, hold on. Select, shrink by 10. There we go. Make it back down there. I totally forgot. We gotta add the gradient. So before we add a whole new layer, delete that layer. What we need to do is right click here and click on gradient, and then we'll go in here and I'm going to do a bright yellow to dark orange, and click up here, drag down here, okay, hold on, there's something majorly wrong. See, I know what it is. The shrink was horrible. So go back down. Now let's try it. There we go. How to create beautiful thumbnails. And we'll click enter so the gradient pops away and takes place. And then add a new layer. And you'll definitely want to do this after messing with the gradient. Always add a new layer on top of your text when you're going to shrink or grow it, or else your gradient will like grow with it and be all out of whack. So we'll grow by 10 pixels, and then right click again on the bucket, and we'll switch over and make that white. Drop down, select none. All right, so we've got some beautiful text here for our thumbnail. And then the last thing that you could do is really just spruce it up with like some background effects. And so what we'll do right now is I will load up Firefox. By the way, if you're new to this channel, never seen any of the videos I put up a lot of videos on Linux. So if you're interested in learning more about why my system looks this way and everything, definitely check it out. I'll put a video up here. It's my video that I did on whether you're switching over to Linux, showing off Pop! OS and why I think it's a really good operating system for especially someone who's new to Linux. But we'll go over to Google Images, or actually I'll just search for, let's do the anime running like overlay thing you always see. So images like this right here. It looks like crap even at 720. Yeah, even at 720 that looks real bad. That looks real bad. Just go ahead and delete that. Get that out of here. Delete layer. So to be honest, I don't think we'll add any more to this. I think this is just fine. It's, to be honest, the more simple and more readable your thumbnails are, the better they're going to look. Now, granted, after everything that I've done in this video, I just want to go ahead and say I am no photo editing expert. I'm no guru when it comes to creating thumbnails that get you thousands of views. If you go on my channel and look around my videos, I'm not a huge channel by any means, but I just wanted to share how I go about creating my thumbnails, and hopefully it's helped you. If it has, please hit that like button. It does help. And after this video goes up, I try and watch the comments, so if you want to comment, talk with me, go ahead and do so, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.